There was this really beautiful moment in this show where when all the women came up, and then you just like, she just like changed, and I was like, whoa, that was sick.
We started building this museum and obviously planning way before we opened. And what we do is we work on the intersection of art, technology, science and sound. And with everything we do, sound plays a really, really big role. Every art piece has kind of a soundscape or a track or music. And for us, it was almost a no-brainer when building this that we would include kind of music as a really big part of the museum. And for me, a personal, really big dream to also build an event space where we could host the parties combined with art pieces and incredible DJs.
After that show, we realized even more that it was important to think about, okay, how can we continue to engage with creatives, with artists, with music? What does it mean to listen to music, create sounds, and keep the creative industry moving forward? So then we spoke a lot of Hugo from the arts and culture team, and we thought, okay, we're definitely going to work together, but let's kind of ramp this up and take it to a kind of further level. And then we really looked at building what we have now, which is the Artists in Residency. And artists have been working on the shows for 3 months. And then obviously we have the showcase now with people in the space dancing, which is pretty spectacular.
The piece is called Labyrinth, and I guess in short ways, it's just kind of like the ways and roads that your mind like takes you on in whichever spiral you're in. This could be like, you know, an anxiety spiral, but it could also be like a substance abuse spiral. Like, and yeah, we try to visually and sonically kind of like walk you through like all the emotional states that you could like, I guess, be in during like a panic attack. Just kind of like walking that the labyrinth of your brain.
When Lyzza and I were talking about the concept first, she wanted to start with this neutral kind of space and then go into a place that was very positive and then go somewhere very dark and then end back in a neutral space. So I kind of, when I heard that, I just thought of, you know, this just being human is like going through these ups and downs. Like even every week, you know, your mood, just like, and I think social media also has a big thing to do with it because we're always like comparing ourselves online. So I'm really interested in just like the sine waves of just human existence. I think it's going to be even more important because now it's like we're all really isolated and we're all becoming these self-sustaining factories instead of going to one big office corporation or whatever. And I think we're all getting disconnected in a way, and while we're all still connected. But I just think we're in a place where everyone is becoming more isolated. So, you know, actual physical experiences like this, where the music, it's a little tribal even, like it makes you feel human in a way. I think it's even more important.
I mean, now you're engulfed in the work, and that's the point, not only to focus on sound, but to really activate the body, bring people together, and everyone to have their own experience with the works, with each other. So it really is about how do you get completely immersed, engage all your senses, and ultimately, yeah, just kind of have your own interpretation. Whereas when it's a screen and, as you said, a camera, it's more prescribed by one person. And for us, it's really important that everyone can have their own journey and find their own path in it.
As much as like I am 100% a fan of like the metaverse and NFTs and really want that to like develop, like I really want that. I think at the same time, nothing can really surpass like human connection. I feel like within humans or societies or even like viruses or bacteria is like at the end of the day, like the one thing that it kind of seeks is like connection and like understanding. And I think because of that reason, like a physical stage will never actually disappear.
Public programming is a huge part of what we're doing, and while yes, I would hope that we really look to that shows like this continue, I really hope that we kind of look at what would be next or new additions or kind of pushing further. So giving the space, giving the equipment to up and coming creatives and really letting them kind of go one step further. So now it's this immersive projection, but I don't know, who knows, next year we're kind of flying in holograms, or I don't know. The sky's the limit, and that's what we want to do, is really give the creatives a chance to go wild, think, and hopefully give them access to the most up-and-coming technologies that are there. I think one thing I think would be a really great thing to see is also that the visual artists are seen on the same level as the sound artists, because often in club spaces or festival spaces, they really come secondary or kind of seen as a background. And I think it's also starting to see that it's actually very much equal, and that when you see them as equal, I mean, the bar just raises, and that's what you see.
When we're talking about like raves or like, you know, music as an industry, like the platform for visual art is very limited. And that's what I really liked about this, was that we kind of came in on equal ground, and people came to see the art and the music. So for me, it was the first time doing anything like this. Like, of course, I've made shows, visuals for shows and visuals for other DJs, but in doing it like in a digital art museum like this, with this kind of atmosphere, is definitely my first time.